If you're a watcher of fashion, then you know Indigenous designers are making their mark on international runways and into the world of mainstream arts, and you're about to see why. Here to showcase a few of the amazing Indigenous designers we have here in Canada is Sage Paul. I'm so happy you're here in real life, because we've spoken before, but we haven't been able to do this in studio together. So before we even get a look at your incredible looks that you've brought for us today, talk to me about Indigenous Fashion Arts, the organization.
Yeah, we are a non-profit organization that supports Indigenous designers working in fashion, craft, and textiles. And our focus is on creating opportunities that celebrate our culture, that show the exciting practices that come from generations of knowledge, and making sure that we find a place within the industry and in the larger economy.
From what I understand, it's not just about the fashion, it's about who's making it, how it's made, you know, and being really true to the Indigenous cultures in that respect. And you are going to be heading to Italy soon. Like, tell us a little bit about this trip.
Oh, I'm so excited. We've been working on this for over 1.5 years now to bring a delegation of designers, Neo Perkins, Leslie Hampton, Evan Ducharme, Section 35, Robin McLeod.
Oh, good.
Yes, and so we're really excited to be bringing them to White Milano, which is the largest trade show in Milan, and happening during Milan Fashion Week. There's going to be 15,000 buyers who attend over the 4 days in the end of February, so I think it's going to be a really great opportunity to put Indigenous designers on that international map and Canadian designers.
That's phenomenal, and I want to hear and see all about it when you are back, because that sounds incredible. You've brought such beautiful fashions into our studio. Some of these names we know, and we know very well. Let's start with your first piece, this gorgeous piece, and the designer behind this.
This is Leslie Hampton, so most people probably know Leslie Hampton. She is a big face right now in fashion, Indigenous fashion and Canadian fashion. She's known for her support and building awareness around mental health, around body positivity, and making sure that there's representation on stage for lots of different kinds of people. This dress comes from a collection called Buoyant, which I really loved, because I just thought of, like, you know, chilling in the ocean and just like that
floating.
Yes, floating and just feeling like just being in myself. So there's that, and that's where it comes from, is that joy that we can feel in life and that we find within ourselves. And so the water is like the blue is suggestive of that water and that feeling of floating.
Gorgeous. And she's doing a lot of the transparency and this beautiful, airy, kind of ethereal fashion. And I love to see the trajectory of where Leslie is going. I met her when she was, I believe, at George Brown. I spoke to her fashion class, and here she is, like, rising all the way to the top. So it's phenomenal to see, and it's credible. We feel very much like she's one of us, right?
She is so great at the work that she does, because it's really about bringing community together, which I really love what she does. She works with a lot of young designers. Even though she's so young herself, she's working with younger designers to really share her knowledge, which is what we need to do.
She's a mentor. Okay, we're going to move along, and I want to make sure that we do sort of talk a little bit about the footwear as well. But first, let's talk about the next artist, featured in National Geographic and Vogue.com. Excuse me. Who's this made by?
This is by Evan Ducharme, and Evan Ducharme is a Métis artist from a historic community called Saint-Ambroise, which has roots within Ojibwe, Soto, and the settlers that came over. And so that is really rich in his clothing. You can see in the embroidery here. That comes from that culture, but also through his work, he's looking at the work through a lens of gender and queerness, which I really love, because then you can start to see this kind of sassiness and playfulness, and like this is completely sheer. A lot of his stuff, you can see the models going completely nude under, which I just love how brave and courageous that is, and asserting someone in those identities who haven't necessarily been welcomed into greater parts of our communities.
Talk to me a little bit about the inspo for this gorgeous piece.
It's such fun inspiration, because it comes from memories of Evan when he was a child, and he was watching these very futuristic sci-fi shows, but also wearing big T-shirts as 90s. So I just love how embedded, like, the personal experiences, but also that indigeneity with the practices that come in.
Beautiful.
Present.
That's when you see clothing as art, right? All of these beautiful influences happening from his childhood and beyond. Let's get to this last piece. Beautiful.
Yes.
Who is this by?
This is by Section 35, Justin Lewis, and this is a part of his Autumn-Winter 2023 collection. And he does streetwear, a lot of outerwear. The hoodies are signature to his collection. But what I really love about his designs is there's so much thought that goes into it. And you'll see in the camo there are characters. You can kind of make them out as very abstract, but they are syllabics, which are Cree alphabet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so really right down to every detail is that there's so much meaning. You can see on the inside here also, you're able to see that there's so much connection and every single detail is really thought through.
It's more than just fashion. A quick nod to the footwear, which I know is from Simon's, but I want to know what the link is between Indigenous fashion and Simon's.
Simon's has been a huge champion of Indigenous fashion arts, our organization, but also Indigenous designers, and they support our festival, and you can also find a number of Indigenous designers on their platforms, in their stores and online.
We need to know that because we want to know where we should shop,
Yes,
right? And we want
Simon's.
shops that are being inclusive. Finally, can we talk about my earrings? Who are these by? Actually, I'll show you this one, Al. So who are these by?
Oh, these are by Neo Perkins, and I'm also wearing a pair of her earrings,
gorgeous.
which is just like, these are like ultimate luxury
Can you do one of these for us while you
items.
talk so we can just see it, get a shot of them? Yeah, they are ultimate
just
luxury.
Totally. They are in a traditional Haudenosaunee style of beadwork. It's raised beadwork.
Yeah.
Very specific to that nation of people. And you can see the floral work too is very specific to Haudenosaunee styles of floral work that would have come from their land that you see there. And this is a practice that has been passed down to Neo, and she's a very sought after bead artist. And
beautiful. Thank you so much, Sage. Find details for all of these amazing looks and their designers on our website, cityline.tv.